Good evening, everyone. You are welcome to Connect with Comfort Show. My name is Comfort Eyitayo, your regular host. On this program, we aim to add value to people on business enterprise and personal growth. Each show is organized to feature guests, special guests who are subject matter experts that will throw more insight on the topic of the day. I'm glad you are able to join us today. You are most welcome. Today, we will be discussing a fundamental aspect of business strategy, which is market leadership. Being a leader in a particular market is essential for a company's success, as it allows them to establish themselves as the go-to brand in the industry. However, becoming a market leader is not an easy feat, as it requires combination of various factors such as innovation, customer satisfaction, operational efficiency, and effective marketing strategies. In the discussion, we will explore the ABC of market leadership and examine the essential components that are necessary for companies to achieve this status. We will also examine case studies of successful market leaders and explore the best practices they use to achieve their success. By the end of this discussion, I hope you have a better understanding of what it takes to become a market leader and how to sustain this position in the long run. Because sometimes it may be easier to get to the top of the ladder, but staying on top of the ladder is another Herculean task. So we'll go into this and much more with our guest who is already in the house. We'll go for a short break and be right back. Please remain connected.
Do the thing you're afraid to do. Do it. It's not about feeling confident about going into the situation. It's not about knowing that it's going to work out. It's not about having the most detailed plan for how this thing will happen. It's about doing it. Courage. Courage is what you will experience and what you will grow when the doubt is there, but you do it anyway. So your problem isn't doubt. Your problem is courage. Doubt is going to be there, but doubt gets out of the way when you express courage, right? Doubt is like it's burned off by courage. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, do the thing and you will have the power. We're waiting for the power. We're waiting not to self-doubt any longer, right? Whatever it is that you're deciding that you want to do with yourself, that you're doubting your ability on, just do it. Fuck it up completely. That's another thing that you've got to get through your mind, is that success is not doing the right thing, and it definitely isn't doing the right thing the first time. Success is having the courage to move in the direction of your dreams, move in the direction that your heart is taking you. That is what success is, as you are progressively realizing that thing. People think success is, I've got a plan and I go and work out that plan. It never, ever works that way. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. But progressive realization means that you're doing things that you don't know how to do. You're stepping out in faith. You're being courageous. Your self-doubt will step out of the way when you build the balls to do the thing.
You are welcome back. I hope we got the hint from that inspirational video for us to have courage to do that which we desire to do. My guest today is Mr. Peter Eze. Peter Eze is a fast emerging and sought after business re-engineering and turnaround expert, known for boosting profits and enhancing employee productivity using proven methods. He is the lead promoter of iPoint, a change management company with hands-on experience in executive business coaching and delivery of road to profit solutions. He is also a growth consultant who supports organizations and business owners to build fast-growing and profitable institutions in the digital age by instituting systems and technological-driven operations. Peter has been entrusted by organizations like Diamond Bank, BTS Energy, Daystar, Fonbel Diagnostic, Strategem Energy Management Company, and more like that, just to manage a few, where he has managed several training sessions on negotiation skills, marketing, service management, leadership, workforce productivity, as well as corporate retreat across sectors. You will agree with me that today we have an expert in the house. If I go on his profile, we'll probably not finish it before the end of the program. So I just crave his indulgence to stop it at that short intro.
Yeah.
But just to let us know that we have an expert to do justice to the topic at hand. The topic we're examining today once again is the ABC of market leadership. Without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming our guest of today, Mr. Peter Eze. You are welcome.
Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you for the opportunity. Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Great to have you. So we go straight with some of our questions, and the first on the list is, what is market leadership and why is it important in business?
All right. Thank you very much, Ma. I'd like to first appreciate the organizers of this program, most especially Mrs. Comfort Eitayo, for this opportunity to be on this platform. The impact has been resonating. The impact of your program has been resonating quite widely, and I'm hoping that I will just add my little token to the great work you're already doing. Once again, thank you for having me. Okay, to start with, I think by definition, market leadership is when a company dominates a particular industry or market or product line. You know, you say that you are a market leader. Why is it important? It's important because it helps you create this barrier to entry for competitors. If you are in a business where anybody can just move in, it just means that any Dick, Harry, and Tom can get into it. It helps to create that barrier to entry. It also helps to provide what I call the economy of scale, the economies of scale. Because as a market leader, you have more negotiation power with your suppliers, with your vendors, and everybody. So you have that economies of scale. Of course, you produce more at a lower cost and higher profit margin. And it also helps to increase brand recognition and the customer loyalty. I think I will just stop at that. I don't know if you can hear me clearly. Can you hear
Loud
me?
and clear.
All
Loud
right,
and
great.
clear.
Great, great.
That's
So those are
that's
just
beautiful.
my, I will just keep it at those three.
Yes,
Thank you.
I appreciate. What are the key characteristics of companies that achieve market leadership?
Okay, so I will start with the most critical one. Interestingly, the one that we tend to overlook: vision, vision and strategy. There has to be an aspiration that you're working towards. I will permit myself, and I will crave the indulgence of my host to allow me make mention of a few of them. You know, um, Elon Musk has been for a very long time making mention of the day that cars will run without um, 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 petroleum. The days that cars will run without oil. It looked crazy, but he saw it. He created a vision. At the time he created the vision, we had it as so we had not even exhausted the limits of the possibilities of petroleum. But he sat down and he said, is there the possibility that one day automobile will run without? Because of course, one of the large consumers of the petroleum product, that oil, is automobile. So he created a vision. So for a companies that achieve market leadership, they have clear vision. They are clear as to the future, and they have a strategy. Strategy is the work plan. How do we get there? They have that vision and strategy. The second thing is that any company that will eventually attain market leadership must have an obsessive focus on the customer. If the purpose of just running a business is just to make profit, you've lost it. You've lost it yes, you make money, but you are not going for that market leadership. It's about the focus on customers. I recall that there was a time, there was this thing driving Dangote. He said he wanted to ensure that every household had, sugar and salt on their table. Now, I may not be quoting it verbatim, but you see, if you recall the earlier interviews he did in the early 2000, he had this obsession about customers. Bill Gates said he saw a future where every a household we have the computer. He wanted to empower every household with a computer system. So there has to be a focus on the customers. The other point is innovation. You've got to continuously seek better ways, easier ways, faster ways, more, accessible ways to your products, to your services. So innovation must be at the top of your priorities. Of course, strong brand identity is very important. You can't emerge a market leader without investing in building a brand that is reputable and respected, right? There must be an investment in building a strong brand identity. I want to pause briefly and say this. The companies that build that eventually emerge as market leaders, they give focus to what I call the three legs of the stool. One of them is the leg of the company. They create a company that people love. Number two, they create a product that meets the needs of people. And of course, number three, they create a market. But that's not the focus here. So I just wanted to use that to buttress the fact that you have to invest and pay attention to creating a brand. The other point, the fifth point, is operational excellence. You can't afford to model things up. You have to look at your operational line like a production line. I always say this to SMEs, when I coach, growing businesses. I say, look at your operation like a production line. And just imagine that you are walking into a Mercedes-Benz production line, and everything, the guy who is building the tire knows that this tire has to be ready at this number of by this time, so that when the vehicle gets assembly line, when it gets to my turn, they will fix the tire. Everything has to work clockwise. Everything. You have to keep reviewing your operations and ensuring that excellence is the key word. Not just doing what is good, but doing, meeting and exceeding the needs of the customer. And of course, the last but not the least is what I call talented workforce. You have to invest in the people. Incidentally, with what is happening right now in our country, it looks like the workforce is the first to get the beaten. You know, when you're not making money, you want to cut down on your staff, and most times you cut down on the ones that you are paying the most. So talented workforce is a key element to emerging, or a key characteristics to market leadership. I hope that's has made some point. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Then how can companies develop the strategy to become a market leader? I'm sure some of these points you've mentioned in answering that second question. You talked of the strong brand, the vision, the strategy. Is there anything that you can say, maybe what the company can develop apart from those ones that you have mentioned to
All right.
become a market leader in the industry?
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Ma. Okay. I think the first thing is that you need to analyze the market generally to identify where the opportunities and the competitors are. You know, at the point where the CBN policy about, you know, taking the naira redesign came up, and then we started having cash crunch in the environment. So people started protesting and all of that. I said, you know, to me, I was cringing, because I was saying, where are my fintech friends? This is a huge opportunity to create, because the problem we had in Nigeria was not as much the absence of naira notes as it is the non-functionality of the digital platforms. That window, unfortunately, unfortunately, I don't think anybody took advantage of it. Yes, there was this cowrie thing that came up, but they were still using POS. It created an opportunity. Of course, one of the things that happened is that a lot of digital banks came up. All of this, you know, whether it's Kuda, or a lot of them, they just came up at that period. So the first thing you need to do to develop a strategy in becoming a market leader is look at the market where you are. Analyze, identify the opportunity. And when I say analyze your market, I'm saying sit down and drill down on the problems that are on the pain points. Opportunities are embedded in the problems. What is paining the society? What is paining people so much? What people are protesting and destroying things? That's where the opportunities are hidden. So analyze the market, when I say the market, analyze the problems, sit down and think through the problems, and identify the opportunities and identify the competitors. The next thing you need to do is define your company's value proposition that sets you apart from your competitors. Now, you know, I say analyze to identify the opportunities and your competitors, because the markets already have competitors. But what makes you a market leader or an emerging one is your ability to define your company's value proposition. What exactly is the benefit? Your value proposition, what's that benefit people get from doing this thing with you that they can't get from any other person? What is that thing, you know, that if you come to me, you know, for some people, they will say it's quality. For some others, they will say it is speed. For others, they will say it is price. What is the thing? What is your competitive leverage? What's your value proposition? Number 3, identify the strategic priorities. Now, when you know what your value propositions are, what are your strategic priorities? It could be that, okay, for example, I mean, I'm in the process of I'm about launching a project, and one of the strategic priorities became declared to me a few days back that there is a huge investment in media that needs to be made, because that project is going to be media driven. So for me, my strategic priority is investment in media tools, equipment. For you, it may not be that. For you, it may be hiring high-level staff. For you, it may be looking for Gen Zs to hire. For you, it may be, you know, buying equipment. For you, it may be investing in technology. What are your strategic priorities for you in getting into this market? For some of us, it could be expanding into new markets. Number 3, you have to develop an action plan that, you know, that clearly spells out the step by step. Because when you When you have a strategy, next thing is, what are the action plan? What do we do next? What do we do after that? And of course, when you have your action plans, the last but not the least is track your progress. Track your progress and ensure that you are following through. And when you see that you have taken a detour, do a course correction. All right. So I hope that's clear. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You have given us so much hint on how to become a market leader and possibly retain that position. But let's identify some of the mistakes that companies are making in the process of becoming a market leader. What are those mistakes that we can avoid?
Okay. All right. So I think the first one, and I think it's very relatable when you look at our client. The first one is focusing so much on the short term gains at the expense of long-term strategy. There's a way the economy of our country can hit you, and all you are thinking is, how do I pay in the next month's salary or this month's salary? Whilst that, and these are obvious realities, right? But you see, what delivers your company, not just from the current struggles, but positions your company for future leadership, is how clear you are about the long-term strategy. They said that the best player in the field is not the one that is holding the ball. No, the best player is the one who knows where the ball is going and runs there to position for the ball. So that best player plays the ball like a chess. So you've got to play the business environment like a chess and say to yourself, where is this thing going? You've got to play it like the sycamore tree and the Zacchaeus. I mean, if you can't relate to that, don't worry. Okay, so that's the first one. When people focus too much on the short term, the next point is neglecting customers' needs and preferences. And unfortunately, I think our Nigerian commercial banks are failing woefully in that. I think they failed, to recognize that what the average Nigerian was just asking for is, give me a guarantee. I mean, we lost the what I call my foster family in Lagos, a family I stayed with, the Ishola family. We lost the father early this year, and we went for the burial in Ilorin. Ma'am, we went there, that burial, a few millions were spent, but the physical cash that was taken there was less than 120,000. How could we have gone to do a full burial that took a few millions, and we went with less than 100,000? Everything we did there, we were doing by transfer. But that's not the striking thing. What struck us was that even in the market, Mama, we ask you, share Ope Lenlo. Oh, so sorry. I've forgotten I'm on an international platform. Are you using Ope? Ope is one of the digital platforms. The moment you say it is Ope, now let me tell you what happened. When we get into the market, we'll buy a lot of things, up to cow. We bought cow by transfer. When you go into the market and you say you are transferring from any of the commercial bank, the old woman will insist that you should transfer, but wait, let me get a lot before you go. But the moment you say, I use OPay, I use one of these, I'm doing a lot of advert for OPay. Okay, madam, I think they should pay you, they should come and sponsor this program. I've mentioned them so much. But the moment you mention one of the digital banks, Mama will say, don't worry. When you transfer, don't worry, it go enter. They had so much confidence that these digital banks could deliver on their promises. So I'm saying, when you get to that point, when you begin to neglect the needs of your customers, let me run fast. The third one is failing, like I said, to innovate and adapt to changes in the market. Consumption needs changed after the COVID. I don't know about any other African country, but I know in our country, Nigeria, the consumption pattern, sorry, I meant to say consumption pattern. The consumption pattern of people, of consumers, completely shifted. So if you're still offering things to people expecting them to consume it, to ingest it the way they were ingesting it in 2019. You're making a big mistake. Netflix came in. For Netflix to come in as a market leader, they had to disrupt the way people were consuming, digital content. They said, no, you don't need a dish on top of your roof. No, you don't need this gadget. All you need is your mobile phone or your computer, and you're already watching movies. And you can see the way they got into the market and they disrupted it. So failing to innovate, very, 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 very big mistake that we make. And of course, ignoring the investment in branding. Or ignoring the investment in branding and marketing. Please, if you want to emerge as a market leader, I was discussing with a friend who has run trainings for close to 10 years. But the guy was telling me 2 days ago, he said, Peter, the kind of success we have seen in the last 3 years of investing in media, he said, I have not touched the fringes of it in the past 10 years. So when you think that paying money to do, investing in digital marketing, investing in creating contents that are, media worthy is too much expense, then you're sabotaging yourself. It's a big mistake, right? And of course, I think the last but not the least is when you overestimate your own capacity and underestimate the competitors. That is the story of David and Goliath. When you think that you're already there, nobody can catch me. I think in becoming a market leader, you must be your own first critic. You must tell yourself that this thing that I'm thinking of doing, 200 or 300 more competitors are already thinking of it. So how do I disrupt it? So I think I'll stop there.
Thank you very much. Wonderfully said. How can companies maintain their market leadership position once they have achieved it? We have learned how they can achieve it. We have learned the mistakes that could prevent us from getting there. After getting there, how do we maintain that leadership?
All right. Okay. I think I'll probably just reiterate some of the things I've said earlier. Invest, develop a strong and talented workforce. Invest in your people, please. If you can't hire the people that fit the profile of the type of customers. So I'm preparing to do what I call a training for a real estate company on, selling luxury real estate to HNIs. While I was developing the material, one of the things that came to my mind was, if your people don't look like they can talk to HNIs, it's either you get the people who look like or who can talk to HNI, or you invest in your people so that they can, easily strike a conversation with HNIs. So you have to develop a strong and talented workforce. You have to, create a customer-centric culture. Create a customer-centric culture. The customer is not just the king. The customer owns the business. It is now the buyer's world. It's no longer the seller. No. It's the buyer's world. They determine. And the funny thing is that in the past, they needed to come to your shop, your office, to determine whether they want to do business with you or not. Today, right on their beds, in their pajamas, under their duvet, they make their decision. So you have to be very customer-centric, and you have to listen to feedback. Take feedback in. I posted a lot of things about trying to tell Nigerian banks that you guys are, like in the words of macaroni, you guys are not doing well. But you see, Nigerian banks think we are there. Nothing they happen. Any big deal. But you see, the giants that fell did not fall because they saw the ones that got them to fail as a threat. No, most times giants are brought down by underdogs. And that's what I think this conversation is all about. How do you emerge as a leader? How do you become that underdog that everybody starts talking about? So again, like I said earlier, focus on operational excellence. Of course, efficiency in maintaining competitive pricing and quality, which means look at your cost. You have to ensure that you drive your cost of doing business down, cost of goods sold, like accountants will say. You have to sit down and each of them, drill down on each of them, and of course, continue to innovate and adapt to changes in the market. And monitor the market. The market needs to be monitored. Follow the market like you are chasing a woman. Monitor the market. Watch the body language of the market, because today's market is like chasing a woman. Their taste changes, so you have to be sure that.
Tell me about it.
Their taste changes.
Tell me about it, Peter. Thank you very much.
All right.
We will go on a very short break and come back to take more questions. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You are welcome. Welcome back from that break. We have talked so much about innovation. You have told us in almost all the responses, companies have to innovate to become leaders, to remain leaders. What role does innovation play in market leadership?
All right. Thank you very much, Ma. Yes, you're right. I think innovation plays a very important role in market leadership, in the sense that it allows you to develop new products. It's innovation that helps you, it helps you, there's a word I'm looking for, level up your services. Innovation allows you to re-engineer your processes to meet the evolving customer needs, because the taste of the customer, keeps their preferences, keeps evolving. So innovation is one thing that will help you to do that. It also helps you to stay ahead of the competition and maintain that thing that is called your competitive advantage. Innovation does that. And a classic example is Apple. They keep, Apple just never rests. They just keep, you see iPhone 11. iPhone 11 came and was busting everybody's brain. But today you have 12, you have 12 Pro Max, you have iPhone 13, and they are still going. The reason, the essence of the new names you are hearing is just telling you that we have innovated. Innovation helps you to keep. That's why you are buying a car today and they're telling you it's 2023 model. It's not different from what was there in 2021, but they've found out that, when people drove this car, they complained about this, they complained about that. Innovation is taking all the feedback, all the complaints, and putting it together, translating it into product benefits, product features that the customer sees as benefit to them. And of course, the last but not the least is that organizations that prioritize innovation are very likely to, emerge as market leaders, undoubtedly. All right.
Thank you very much. How can companies effectively compete against established market leaders? Like I'm coming into this industry now, and I know there's an already established market leader. How can I compete effectively with such market leader?
All right. Okay. So let me, okay, maybe let me use it as a case study, if you don't mind. All right. So the first thing is you have to differentiate your offering. You have to differentiate by offering something that is unique, right? Your value must be unique, or you have to come in with a new approach. You may be offering the same product, but your approach to it could be different. So just, which is why they always say create a competitive analysis table. When you have that table that says, excuse me, Lagbaja, Hassan, Kunle, Obinna, they're already doing exactly the same thing. What are the things similar among them? What's Hassan doing that Lagbaja is not doing? What's Lagbaja doing that Kunle is not doing? What's Kunle doing that Obinna is not doing? But all in all, 4 or 5 of them, they are doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7. What are they not doing that the customer wants? That's where your competitive edge comes in. So you have to, differentiate by offering something unique, or offering going by a new approach to the market. Secondly, you have to focus on a niche market or an underserved customer segment. I don't know why I keep going back to the banking sector. I think that more than any other time, the power, the density, I'm looking for a word, the density, the largeness, the population of the bottom of the pyramid has become apparent. The central bank said they wanted to redesign Naira, and you could see how Ghana must go. Sacks of Nairas that were stored in people's shops, homes, under the beds, started coming out. That market is underserved by the digital platform. So again, coming back again to the analogy of let's use Mrs. Comfort's business, is focus on a niche market or an underserved customer segment. There are segments that a lot of the big players are not looking at. You can look at one of those as your niche and focus on them. Number 3, leverage technology. Leverage technology big time. Madam, if you stay with the, okay, 70% of, okay, no, let me put it this way. 30% of, no, 40% of your investment should go into technology. 30% into manpower. If you want to vex, put 70% of your money in technology. Oh my goodness. The people who currently call themselves the market leaders, they will come to you there and say, madam, please, we want you to coach us. We want you to tell us, tell us how you are cutting, who is cutting the soap for you. If you want to be, if you want to hear that question of who is cutting, how are you cutting, or who is cutting that soap, invest in tech. Technology is the biggest soap you can cut in business right now. Of course, number 4, build a strong brand and customer loyalty. And how do you generate customer loyalty? Just ensure that the next customer is impressed, pleased, so that you can get your customers to become your raving fans. They are the ones that carry the story everywhere. There's a young lady in Computer Village. Her name is Olamide. I'm not ashamed to mention Olamide anywhere. I have introduced anybody that I know to Olamide. She repairs computer in Computer Village. She sells computer. But that lady, if the problem with your computer is caused by village people, that lady is going to resolve it. She is too good at what she does. She has won me. When a computer repair is beyond her, just know that computer has been killed and is supposed to be buried. But her, and there's one guy, I forgot, Alpha, we call him, I've forgotten his name. 2 of them, a guy and a lady. Olamide, that lady she is an app. She is a spirit. Now, this is me. She's not paying me anything. No.
But everybody that I know, in fact, it's so bad. I went to pick my child in his school, and I saw the gate man, their security man, the school security men. They were discussing. The security man was asking the driver, "Where can I buy computer?" That one said, "Go to Oshodi." I said, "If you go to Oshodi, those guys will sell you. They will give you carton that looks like, because those guys, you can't even trust what you are getting." And I said to him, "Come, you want to get computer? You want to buy computer? B, go to Computer Village." I gave her the number of Olamide. Ask for Olamide. If Olamide says a computer that has a problem, call me. Nobody in over 7 years of knowing this lady, nobody that I've directed has said, one, that she cheated, two, that she did a shoddy job, three, that she had arrogance issue. You know, like Nigerian market, when you want to buy, you are auntie, you are sweetheart. When you have bought and it has an issue, you are wahala. So build customer loyalty, by just ensuring that you impress the next customers to the point that they take your story and they are talking about your program, just like I'm talking about Olamide. Of course, then the next thing is offer superior customer service. I mean, just following through, and then look for as many collaboration and strategic partnership as you can. The cost of going up now is too high for you to want to go it alone. Look for customers. Collaboration. Look for partnership. The language, the speed language of the digital age is collaboration and partnership. So look for alliances, collaboration. So I would say for Mrs. Comfort's business is, what are the international bodies you can go into partnership with? You can go into collaborations with, so that it now becomes this program in collaboration with this, presenting that. And of course, again, innovates to create new products and services. I can't say too much about innovation. And whatever you are creating must meet changing customer needs. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What is the impact of technological advancements on market leadership?
All right. All right. So again, I think I'll just reiterate a few of the things that I've said earlier. The advancement of technology has enabled companies to develop new products and services, or create new business models. That's one. Organizations that leverage technology to innovate and adapt to changing customer needs are likely or more likely to emerge new leaders. All right. Technology advancement has created or can create new competition and disrupt established market leaders who fail to adapt. And I must tell you, digital banking might send some regular conventional commercial banks to their graves. I'm sorry to say that, but that's about to happen. Because digital, come to think of it, a typical bank that you know in Nigeria has huge assets. So their depreciation, the cost of depreciation alone is so much. They have official cars, they have buildings, and they are competing on how excellent their buildings are looking. They have this mass number of staff. And then there's one digital bank somewhere in one corner. The entire headquarters, home and abroad, is not more than 2-bedroom flat. In fact, that 2-bedroom flat gone is because they are being too. Otherwise, 2-bedroom flat, one of the rooms is for Oga, the other one is for the staff. They are just sitting like a customer center, and they are the ones running all these shows. So what is their overhead? So they can afford to poach a back-end programmer in a regular bank who is currently earning 700, 800,000, and pay the person 1.8 million. Because what's their cost of doing business? It's next to nothing. So it just helps you to disrupt the market. It also helps to improve operational efficiency, like I said earlier, reduce your cost of production, and then improve your customer experiences. With digital, there's a lot that can happen. With digital can actually tell you the people that visited your website, at what point, people that are going to like your product page, at what point did they turn back. If you notice that 70% of the people that when you do your customer journey mapping, 70% of them stop at level 5. It just means that there's something wrong there. So it's easy for you to trace and make correction. And of course, it enables you to gather data for improving your market and sales efforts. Data is the new oil. And technology helps you to gather those data. That's why there is a subject evocation called data mining. You sit down on a data, it tells you a lot. I mean, when I run sessions for organizations, one of them, I just sat down before they called. They said they wanted a strategy retreat. The first thing I said was, I said, give me your data, 5 years back. For one of them, they have stayed for long. I said, give me 7 years back. When we sat down and we plotted, I told them, okay, do this, do that, do that. When they showed me that chart, I told them, you know what? Have you seen an aircraft before? You say you've seen an aircraft. I say, what is happening is that this company is taking a nose down, is going down. They asked me why. I said, the numbers are clear. The numbers are saying it. So we took what was happening inside. We analyzed the macroeconomic environment and the microeconomic environment. And I said to them, that was when Sanusi came out with the cashless policy. And I said to them, it's clear. You are selling a machine that is used for printing checkbooks. Banks are no longer printing checks because people are now doing digital banking. So you can see, and you can see the numbers are dropping. It's not because your salespeople are not working. It's because the market has moved. So you need to, they say, what do we do? I said, you need to jump out. This aircraft is going to crash. There is no doubt. What you need to do is order for another aircraft and find how you balloon yourself into the new one, because this one, unfailingly, is going to crash. And thankfully, they moved, they pivoted into a new business. And I don't know the last time, Ma, that you wrote a check, physical check, and gave to anybody. I can't remember the last time. Some of you don't even know where your checkbooks are. You do transfers. So yes. Imagine a company starting now and saying, we are selling a machine. Or let me even make it simple. Imagine somebody starting a business selling floppy diskettes. I'm sure some of your grandchildren don't even know what diskette is. They will need to go and Google it to look what it means. So those are some of the things that
Thank you very much. We are running short of time. I wish we can go on and on. Can you just give us a very short parting shot on this topic? It's been very, very loaded, and I appreciate your contribution.
All right. Okay. So I would say, in addition to everything I've said, without reiterating them, I would say, please embrace data. Data is so. I will pick one of the things I said earlier. To be a market leader, you need to treat the markets like you are chasing someone you love. You are chasing a lover. It is the way they act, the direction they go, that shows you. It's either that way, or treat it like, there's a child you love and you're trying to follow the child. That's number one. So you need to monitor customer behavior. The two, one of the easy tools for you to do that is your data mining. Pay attention to your data. When people come to your company, when people buy things from you and they drop their contact and their details, see, that thing is a very big tool or weapon, depending on what you do with it. Amazon moved from being a company that sells books to a renewable energy company today. There's nothing they are not doing. What happened was that every time you come and shop, they follow your card. They know, okay, the people that buy this also buy that. If we stay selling books, hunger will show us. So they say, okay, if they are buying this, okay, why can't we also be the ones? Because now we have built trust with them. So they started stocking those things that those people were buying, and they would rather make their mistake here than going to make it elsewhere. So you need to, your data and your data analytics must be top notch. And I think I will stop it there. Thank you so much for.
Thank you so much. You have even packed double the value of 2 shows into one. I appreciate it highly, and I'm sure our audience have benefited greatly. So I want to appreciate you once again for
thank you,
honoring our invitation and for giving us so much value, allowing us to share out of your vast wealth of experience. Thank you. May God bless you richly. I hope next time when we come calling, you will answer us and not treat us as Oliver Twist. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. So bye for now. Thank you. So distinguished audience, we've had quite a lot on our plate. I will only just do very, very brief because the time is fast spent. As a form of wrap up and conclusion, he has said so much. We talk of the acronym ABC. We can take it from the perspective of anticipate market trends, which is also in line with what he has said. He has talked much on understanding our market. We should also take B to build a strong brand for our products and services, and then C for cultivating customers' loyalty, because that is very key. There are different other ones I'll just quickly gloss over because of want of time. Differentiate yourself from competitors, establish thought leadership, foster innovation continuously to innovate. Don't be stagnant. Grow your market share. Harness the power of technology. That's another point he stressed so much for us. And invest in your employees, your good employees. Invest in them so that they carry your business forward. And one other important one is joint ventures. Have alliances, collaborate. With all this, if we are able to make use of all these useful tips, I'm sure we are on the way to establishing ourselves as market leaders in our various industries. So in conclusion, the ABC of market leadership is comprehensive framework that highlights the essential qualities and strategies required for organizations to achieve and maintain a leadership position in the marketplace, from building a strong brand to continuously innovating and adapting to changing market conditions. There are many factors that contribute to market leadership. You can, if you need more information on this because of want of time, please feel free to make contact with us. Once again, I want to appreciate all of you for joining us, particularly for exploring this ABC of market leadership. I hope this discussion has been valuable and informative, as I wish you all the best as you pursue your own path to market leadership. Permit me to also appreciate Taiwo Ojo joining us from Abuja. Thank you, Taiwo, for joining us. I would like to appreciate all other online audience for joining us today and for following us all the time. We have I appreciate King T also for joining us. So we are rounding up. Like I said, feel free to make contact on areas that you need more information or clarification on any of the topics we have shared with you. And if you have enjoyed today's show, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Comfort Eyitayo. Once you have subscribed, please turn on the notification button, like and share our videos. Stay updated with information about upcoming events, solutions, and offers on my Instagram account at Comfort Eyitayo, as well as my Facebook at Comfort Eyitayo. Till I come your way again, aspire to become the market leader in your industry. Thank you very much, and God bless.